What is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline. As always, if you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel and drop a like on this video. I would very much appreciate it. Well, guys, if you just got done watching my bad review for the Present Toys Tuco, welcome back. If not, definitely check that out if you want to see all of the figures from this line apart from the Blondie, because I do have the sideshow version. But guys, as you can see, I have the Present Toys Cunning Killer, aka Angel Eyes, from the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm actually very excited to take a look at this one. I know a lot of people have said a couple things about this one in terms of the hat size and everything like that, so we're going to take a look, hopefully debunk that, and see what we think of everything. But as always, guys, let's take a look at the packaging first. As you can see, an awesome image here on the front. I really love the packaging from this line. I think they did a great job. An awesome image here of Angel Eyes on the front with that signature smirk looking ever so menacing. Moving down, guys, you can see we have the Present Toys Cunning Killer 1/6 scale collectible figure. Moving to the bottom, just like on the Tuco, we do have Cunning Killer repeated on the bottom there. The Present Toys logo on the side here, and then around the back you have that same pipe and noose symbol, as well as all of the warnings and everything. Of course, you can pause and read that if you would like to. But guys, without further ado, let me now take the foam insert out of the packaging and we'll take a closer look at how it arrives to you when it lands on your doorstep. And here's our foam insert removed from the packaging. We'll get a bit closer. As you can see, a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of weapons with this one for sure, big arsenal of firearms. So I cannot wait to take a look at this one, guys. But now, let me take the figure and all of the accessories out of the box, and we'll take a closer look at all of the details. Okay, now as you can see, we have all of the accessories laid out on the table in front of us, an absolute arsenal of weapons, as you can see. But now, let's take a closer look at each one individually. Do you hear that? Guys, once again, I want to see a bare minimum of 8 hands with these figures. Just 2 more hands. Because we have 4 extra here and 2 pre-installed on the figure. I'd like to see 8 total. I don't think that's too much to ask for, and it just adds for more extra options when it comes to posing. But getting close up, guys, we do have some very nice paintwork here. I hope it's coming off on camera. I mentioned it with the Tuco figure. I think Present Toys really is stepping up their game when it comes to the paintwork. And as you can see, it really is no slouch of a job on this Angel Eyes figure as well. I just think it looks very good. I will flip one of these over. As you can see, guys, really, really nicely done. I'm very happy with it. I think the sculpt works great. The paint works great. Overall, for a third-party figure that's relatively inexpensive, I'm very satisfied. Next, guys, just like our Tuco, we do have a very nice graphic display base here. As you can see, with the Cunning Killer name towards the bottom, and an image here of Angel Eyes looking very menacing, as you could see. You guys may or may not remember, I believe he snuck himself into the ranks of the Union Army. Definitely a really fitting display base for this character for sure. Just like the other one, you do get a crotch grabber as well. I just don't have it installed. But moving on to the next accessory. Next, we have a nice scarf slash bandana here, layered very nicely. It's tied in a knot there at the back. You can see there's a bit of layering going on here. And of course, that does go around his neck. If I remember to, I will throw this around his neck for the later posing segment of the video. Next, very quickly, I want to show you this very tiny pipe that he comes with. You really can't tell how tiny it is until you back it out in my hand. A very small accessory, so be sure you don't lose that. It is in a little plastic baggie inside the packaging, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Next, we do have a bag of money, but this one's not cut open. I think this is really cool, guys. I'm going to show you why here in a second. As you can see, this is made of fabric, has some stuffing in it, and we have a nice fabric string pull there at the top. But I'll pull the money bag out from the Tuco figure, and as you can see, they did a pretty good job at matching the color pretty close. This may be a little bit lighter because it's fabric, but overall, I think this is going to make for an awesome opportunity to make like a tiny little final scene diorama in your display. So this is really cool, and I'm so glad to see some continuity with the accessories between the 2 figures that we've looked at in this line. Next, we do have one of the 2 lever action rifles. As we get closer, as you can see, some really nice weathering, really nice woodwork there. Overall, really nicely done. I do have the rifle that came with Tuco off screen here. As you can see, it is the exact same rifle. Some variances in the weathering, of course, but I just wanted to point that out. It is the same one that is included with Tuco. Next, we have probably my favorite firearm in this set. As you can see, we have a beautiful bit of engraved gold here, and I think that looks very nice as we get it to focus there. It looks really nicely done. As you can see, the weathering down the barrel as well is very convincing. Again, I'm very impressed by the paintwork on these figures. I think Present Toys is really stepping their game up. And as you can see, we have some really nice paint details to make this stock look like real wood. Overall, I think they did a really nice job, and I'm very happy with how it looks. This definitely gives me like Henry Golden Boy vibes, if you guys are familiar with that firearm. Overall, very cool, and I'm very happy with how this looks. Next, I quickly wanted to do the two revolvers next to each other because they're smaller and it's very easy to do. As you can see, this one has this beautiful snake here on the handle. This does have a moving hammer. The cylinder rotates and drops out as well. Very nicely done. I love the paintwork. This revolver here is more simple. It doesn't seem to have any moving parts from what I can tell from playing around with it. But overall, it is really nicely painted, and I think it's very convincing to look like real metal, which doesn't always happen with a lot of these companies, especially with some of Sideshow stuff. I feel like they've gotten a little bit better. But now, without further ado, let me grab Angel Eyes, and we'll take a closer look at the figure and see what we think. Here we are with Angel Eyes, aka the Cunning Killer. As you can see, guys, he looks very, very good. The tailoring on the coat here looks really nicely done. As you can see, it lays very nicely on this body they decided to use here. I think the tailoring has really been stepped up from Present Toys. I think it looks very nice. As you can see, a lot of people had questions about the sculpt and the hat. You could argue the hat is a bit oversized. Really, it doesn't bother me much. I still think it looks pretty solid. Getting a close-up here on this sculpt, I think the likeness is certainly there. I think it looks pretty dang good. Again, with this one, guys, I'm not sure if this is a recast from a custom figure. You guys will have to let me know. But overall, I think this looks pretty fantastic. I love the 5 o'clock shadow shading. The paintwork overall just has a lot of life to it that you normally don't see from a lot of these cheaper third-party figures. I think Present Toys is just really, really stepping up their game. As you can see, the hair is pretty plainly painted. I think that's probably the most plain thing about this paintwork. We will take a look at this hat from the top. Some nice texture to it, as you can see. They put a little bit of effort there into the texturing on the hat. Overall, I think it looks very good. And for those that are curious, the hat is not removable, so definitely keep that in mind. Guys, I do want to highlight, though, the beautiful layering job that's done with the tailoring here with the clothes. Opening up this main coat here, you see we have an under vest. Let me get a little bit closer, try to get the focus on that pocket watch there. That is a fully real metal pocket watch. So the watch itself is metal and so is the chain. Really nicely done, Present Toys. And as you can see, we have a burgundy undercoat here. And then we have a all black button down shirt with some really nice ribbing detail. Some really, really nice stitching there. Overall, very beautifully done. Moving down, as you can see, with this one, we also have a real metal buckle. Looking at it here, it does appear to be real leather. I will let you guys know otherwise if it isn't, but I think it looks like real leather to me, and Present Toys has been pretty good with that real leather usage. I love that white stitching on the holster going around the gun belt as well. And as you can see, we have all of those rounds in the gun belt looking really, really good. In terms of the hands pre-installed, guys, we have 2 open relaxed hands pre-installed on the figure. Again, painted and sculpted very nicely. Moving down, you can see the tailoring on the pants is no slouch whatsoever. I think it looks very good. Now, something really cool about these boots here, as you can see, these are sculpted plastic. We do have some leather elements here, but moving around to the back, I wanted to let you guys know these spurs are real metal. Definitely really cool, a really nice touch, and again, guys, this figure just kind of oozes quality. I will show you the back of the gun belt for those of you guys that are curious. That's where it attaches on the back, and this feels like a real metal buckle as well. So overall, guys, I am very, very impressed with this figure. Now let's quickly go through articulation. Let's see if this head pops off like it did on the other one, left to right. Yes. Forward and backward. Okay, so this one does not have the popping off head. Maybe that was a defect with mine, I'm not sure, but I'm happy to share it. It is not present with this one, at least on my copy, so definitely pretty happy about that. The shoulder articulation, guys, obviously you really have no limits. When the material is so thin, obviously you can really get as much as you want out of it. Putting the arms down, of course, you can go fully forward. Definitely want to futz with the shoulders there to make it look right, but of course it poses very, very easily. I imagine these are double jointed elbows, and yes, they are. Definitely great to see as always. And then of course, with the hands, guys, you can rotate them a full 360, and you do have a rocker ball joint there. Now getting these arms out of the way, guys, in terms of the abdominal crunch, you do have plenty, especially considering the amount of layers that he has on, and in terms of the hip articulation, a bit of more limitation in the pants here, but overall, definitely no complaints about that. Again, it is just an okay body. As you can see, the leg is sagging back down a little bit. That's not great. Don't expect anything crazy when it comes to the bodies from present toys. In terms of the boot articulation, guys, these are sculpted plastic and they are solid, so you really can only get rotation left and right on the boot. But that's okay because I think they look really good and I think he'll stand just fine. I did forget to show you earlier the soles of the shoes here, looking very plain, as I mentioned, with the Tuco figure as well. But now, guys, as he's creepily hunching over there, let me throw angel eyes in a couple poses and we'll close out this video. Well, if you couldn't already tell, I'm definitely a big fan of this figure, guys. I love the tailoring, I love the use of mixed media and the die-cast spurs. Definitely a really cool figure and really well done, and I highly recommend it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I very much appreciate it. Take care, and I'll see you next time.